Welcome to another Lap of the World how-to video. This series aims to consolidate some of the practical information you might want to know if you plan to visit a track yourself, as well as picking up some of the details that hit the cutting room floor when I put together the more narrative track feature presentations. In that context, and without further ado, let's explore how to Dakota County Technical College. Dakota County Technical College, or DCTC, opened its doors in 1971 and after growing into a regional institution, built the Decision Driving Range of interest to us in 1991 as a reconfigurable training and testing facility to support their commercial driving curriculum. With the abandonment of the proposed Pine Run facility in the mid-2000s and IndyCar only ever running a temporary street circuit in the city, the DCTC driving range is the closest thing to a home track for the greater Minneapolis area at the moment. In addition to the college's programs, it currently sees use for police training, autocross, and, as you've seen, the occasional track day. The vast majority of track days I found at DCTC are hosted and facilitated by the SCCA through the Track Night in America program. Other options at this time appear to include events hosted by Impulse Performance. Here's the address. I'm sure your GPS can handle the rest. The closest accommodations, just 12 minutes from the college, are just to the west in Apple Valley. That failing, other options are available in Hastings, 20 minutes east, on the shores of the Mississippi. I can't give any first-hand recommendations here as I stayed in DeForest, Wisconsin at a Holiday Inn across from a cheese chalet, because Wisconsin. As with my last outing, I can't make any recommendations here either as I packed all of my meals in on account of this being during COVID-19's period of influence. That said, while there is no food available on site at the driving range, there are numerous options, both chain and local, roughly 5 minutes away in Rosemount proper. There are no fuel or consumables available for sale on site, but again, you should be able to find at least your non-exotic fuel grade of choice and your preferred part chains just a few miles west in Rosemount. Setting proper expectations, this is not what I would call a destination facility. The driving range doesn't have much in the way of amenities. It isn't a standalone track or driving facility and isn't equipped thus. It does boast a decent-sized concrete paddock area which, although large, can fill up with well-attended events. That said, you'll find no shortage of parking across the greater DCTC campus. The facilities, such as they are limited to a single portable unit, at least at the time of this filming. Of note, in the summer there are various sized trees offering their shade, but you might consider bringing your own if you can't snag a convenient spot early on. Good luck! The driving range by design can be configured with numerous potential layouts for track day use. This is the configuration I drove, but in about 30 seconds of Googling, I found at least 2 different configurations, and you can add to that the potential for running clockwise or counterclockwise. That said, you can find in and on-car video elsewhere on my own channel as well as others on YouTube. Now onto the track itself. If you would like to see me driving consecutive laps of at least one layout of the driving range, please find my Just the Laps video, a link to which is probably appearing in the upper right-hand corner as I say this. Packing 15 turns into just over a mile of tarmac, this DCTC layout offers no respite for those with heavy steering or who struggle with thinking turns ahead. The circuit drives like a scaled-up autocross course and you stay very busy over the course of a lap. In my stock motor NSX on street tires, I saw top speeds around 90 miles per hour with the slowest turn taken under 30 miles per hour. Given the track is only as wide as a country lane though, it gives the impression that you're going much quicker on average. As with other super technical circuits, you don't do much heavy braking, so you shouldn't experience much wear in that department. However, you should make sure you have plenty of tire as the turns are many and the track surface is abrasive. The driving range was not built as a motorsports facility, so lacks your typical FIA-style curbing, and the ground covering off-track is a combination of grass and loose gravel. As such, you will want to respect the track limits basically everywhere lest you risk dragging significant debris back onto the surface. An act that could see you uninvited mid-event, as it's a point of sensitivity with the college and therefore any event organizers as well. At least 2 run groups lost some time to clean up during the track night I attended, so don't trim apexes or take liberties on track out. So you could be in some administrative trouble if you purposefully go a little bit off the track, but if you do get it wrong enough to go significantly off the track, the good news is there isn't much to hit. Though depending on the layout you end up driving, there are some fences, poles, and barriers that could come into play should you get it wrong enough and try to hero your way out of it unsuccessfully. Both feed in the spin, and you should come out unscathed. The other thing I would mention is, aside from being abrasive, some parts of the track felt legitimately bumpy even through my fairly compliant KW dampers and 40 series tires. So although it's entirely tolerable to a street car, it might not be the best experience for something race setup with super stiff springs and damping. With all of that said, the layout I drove was entertaining and had a nice variety of elements to keep you thinking through the day about how to improve the various sections. While there isn't a lot of nuance to the facility, setting up on the west end of the paddock is probably the way to go if you can get there early, as that puts you closest to the facility, but also to shade, and it also gives you the longest route from pit end to your parking space, which can help you cool your car off more before parking it after a session. I'm not aware that any sound policy was enforced, but cutting the track and dragging gravel onto the surface is treated as serious business. So be a good neighbor, stay on the hard stuff, and help the local folks keep in good stead with really the only venue they have right now. Thank you then for watching How To Dakota County Technical College's driving range. Hopefully this has been helpful if you plan to visit this unique facility. Thanks again to all of the SCCA volunteers for making my own experience there fun and stress-free. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please remember to leave a like, comment with any suggestions, and consider subscribing. Until next time though, I'm Richard, this is Lap of the World, and I will see you in the next video, if not at the track. Somebody points your camera at you, you're going to find the least graceful way of doing anything.